Hey everyone. I realize I was a bit late saying hi. If you are coming from Villain Support, you might notice that I'm not live on there. That's because this isn't a Villain Support stream in any capacity. So, realistically, I should also not be on StreamYard, but hopefully Chris won't mind too much. Because 90% of the time I use StreamYard, 99% of the time I use StreamYard to go live on both channels. Okay. So the little bit of modeling that we're going to be doing here is for Sandra. And I don't have the programs that are truly necessary to bring this to justice. But we're going to see what we can do with what I'm able to do inside the slicer. So Sandra's here. We're going to go over this. Sandra, where would you put the hairpin? I understand you might want to have two separate pieces and bond them. But if we were to bond them in a way that, say, the hairpin was like in the middle here, I could do that. But I kind of want to know where in the model before we do that. Would it be up here? Would it be back here? Like this in here? Would it be in the middle? That kind of thing. Because if it's in the middle, we could figure it out and put it like right there. Let's do this real quick. Why is that hairpin so big? Look how big this hairpin decided it wanted to be. What? Oh, it's because it's I see what's going on. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Clone this back over here. Lay this flat. Move more towards back. Okay. We can do that. But real quick. Oh goodness, that was funny. We're gonna have it do it again. It's gonna do it again. And we will fix that sizing of that object by itself by going here and shrinking that object to a more reasonable size. That was the wrong way. We want you to okay. Want you to be flat. Okay. And then we want to go down like this. Here we go. And we will finagle with the size. And hey, is it going to be a sewing machine sitting on you? I would think that would be the most stable. Yes, it would be the most stable. It would most definitely. And now we have this effectively going in here like this. I might make the model, because this has this divot right here. I might set the model on this side instead. It's entirely up to you, because if I have the model sit on top here where all these little pins and everything are, I can put supports on it and it will print straight up. The problem is it's going to be stronger as a hairpin if it's flat like this. Now, alternatively, yes, I can put a hole in here and we can just put it in there. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yes, hair sticks. Now, alternatively, we're going to create, we're going to do this. Alternatively, we clone this and we leave this print the way it prints. Okay, the way it prints. But instead, what we do is we add a negative part. And because this is a cube shape on top, if you look at the shape of this guy right here, so you see this guy. I don't screw it up. It's got a bit of it's a cube, right? So we add a negative part, and this is going to be really easy to take a look at. Add negative part, add cube. Now, the reason why this is going to be easy is because of its size. Now, this gets big it's big here and goes in, but I should still be able to see the scale. We got about a 6, 110, and 6. So if I'm right, all right. Are you gonna really do that to me? Come on. Be easier for me to print this and just measure it. Nope. So right about there. Scale right about there. Yeah, it's a good scale. Okay. Meow. Meow. There we go. If I'm making anyone dizzy, I apologize. Sitting in your hair. Tola, hey, hello. I'm lagging behind. I just came up with a crazy idea. Levi, have the printing expertise. Yeah, so it's a matter of strength, and when we glue something to a print, I can use the current print as an example. You're gonna have like this isn't gonna have gaps. Your thing isn't gonna have gaps, but when it's sitting on top and it's just glued on top, you're gluing two items. That will be its weak point. It's gonna snap, right? If you're printing in layers, your layers are each a weak point. Okay, even if you have 100% infill, each of those layers are still considered a weak point. So something that's going to go in the hair is going to get twirled around and stuck in the hair, right? You don't want to pull on it and have it snap on you. So what you want is to print those layer lines like this, so you can pull it like this, and it's not gonna pop, because those layer lines go the same way that you're maneuvering and using that. But because they're printed like this, if you go and like try to break it in half like that, it'll break in half a little bit. It's still gonna be hard because it's like trying to break something that's glued together. But so the easiest solution for this, I say easiest, is if you're going to glue them together, you can do that. That's not a problem. But what we want to do is give you space to glue that with. We no longer want uniform scale, and we just want this to go like this. We're going to move the cube into place. Let's go right here. Now, if we give you a spot to print, to glue them in, what? Oh, yeah. I forgot. I almost forgot. I have to actually. There we go. I forgot that I have to move that down. Yeah, I have to add supports to this. That's fine. So we have that in there. It's got that nice, clear, long area. And we can test print how long we realistically need that by printing this and then printing the other one. The other thing is, like, how big of the sewing machine do you want? Do you want it to be a small sewing machine? Like if we were to, let's say, clone this onto another plate. And we have this one that can be printed by itself like that, add supports, which I had to paint the supports for these machines. But let's just enable supports right now. For whatever reason, the whole thing needs supports. That's stupid. The whole thing shouldn't need supports, but that's on a bed of supports, so that entire area is going to wind up being rough. It's not hard to clean up, but this way you get most of the machine, and it's all printed the same orientation. And realistically, we should probably print a few of these in a few different ways. You have this one that has a hole in it. You have this one that also has a hole in it. Oopsie. Didn't mean, I don't know what I just did. I have no idea what I just did. I don't have a back button on this thing, so whatever I did, I'm just going to have to deal with it. We take this one, and we scale it down. The reason why we want to scale it down get rid of that. I think I just mirrored it. That's all I did. We scale it down. We add in that part again. You know, we have this part laying here. You are not going to behave with me, are you? Rotate this. We make the sewing machine a little bit smaller. Take the hairpin, raise it up. Okay. Same deal as the other one. But now you have a big, now you have this hairpin that should be, the stick should be 5 to 9 inches out from underneath the machine. Without printing it, I can't tell how far things are. That would literally be test printing to figure it out. If they're friction fitted instead of glued, you can always sand down the wood bamboo replacement to fit in and snap the if you snap the stick. That's accurate, actually. Yeah, if they're fitted correctly, you can just go. But here's the biggest thing: if you fit it in there like that, whenever this snaps, let's say this part right here snaps, it snaps off, and you've got that little bit that's snapped inside. You have to try to clean that out in order to get in there. Most people aren't going to do that, or if they do, they're going to wind up causing that hole to be a little bit bigger, and then you have to get in there. It's still, at the end of the day, it's still plastic. Now, if it was wood, it'd be an entirely different story. No matter what, like it's up to you, Sandra, how you want to have this. Oh, the friction. I have models I can use to show you. Yeah, this one wasn't glued. Okay. Friction fit. Okay. And this would be similar to right here. You have the tiny little things right here. These are tinier than what that would be. So you just put them in, and now they're in. So that's what's considered a friction fit. Now, most friction fits are usually in there really big. Like they are, like, you don't want them to come apart. Like something like this, when you get it in there, it's not coming out. Now, alternatively, with what we're doing with this one where I made the hole, that could be utilized if I essentially edit the hole just big enough, but maybe small enough that it would be a friction fit. You could get it in there so it's the perfect fit. And if it falls out, it falls out. You just put it in there, and you don't, you keep figuring it out. You could also glue it in place too. If you add E6000 to it, it's no longer a friction fit. It's a glued in piece. It's still either way, either or. But a friction fit with no glue is much easier to replace the stick if it breaks than it is if you glue it in there. Because the moment you glue it in there, you're going to be fighting the glue to get it out. But it's entirely up to you what you would like to do. We would still have to figure out that same thing for this machine. We'd have to effectively do everything we just did with this one. Boom, you have this bigger stick here. You have to figure it out. Now, this machine right here, I don't remember how big it is in real life. That's 76. I don't know why I'm getting these to do it by hand when I'm literally at a computer and I don't need to convert. $76. So this would be like that bigger one. This is like a 3-inch. So 1 inch, 2 millimeters, 25. If you wanted this to be a 1-inch size sewing machine, it would need to be uniform scale. 25.40. 20. That's how big you're making that. Which is roughly this size. So it's roughly right here. So we can just utilize this one instead of this one. So this one right here, molded in there. It's not coming apart anytime soon. I'd probably lay it on this face so that the rest of this comes out pretty nice. That's just me being picky. Okay. And friction fitting this stick, which is 110 millimeters long. It's about 4 inches long. So if you want it to be 5 or 6 inches, 3 inches is too big for putting in the hair. Yeah. Given the taper's slope wedge of the stick, the friction, if it fails, it would just fall lower on the stick into the hair, not off if you just re-snug it. Recess area to put the stick in. Missed Doubtfire. Okay. So, the stick itself is currently 4 inches. You wanted 5. Huh? Not unless you do chores. Not unless you do chores.
Oh.
You needed about 5 or 6 inches. Is that correct, Sandra? That would be.
No, you said you ended the stream.
I ended the stream on the main channel. This is me doing work for Cosmic Kitties. It's easier to be on live and sit here and do it. What are you doing? Stop. Stop. I will tell you when you are allowed to have that. And if you ask one more time, you won't. Yeah. Yes, please, for the length of the question. Yes, 100%. All right. So that's what it would be. We just made it 150 millimeters is 5.91 inches. It's almost 6 inches. So we want to make this uniform scale 25. Generic cube no longer is the correct size. We'll just delete that, add negative part, cube. Okay. We're going to do the same thing we did last time, right? I'm going to take this cube. We want to resize it down. All right. Okay. And then we want to resize it. Hold on. A cylinder might be better, or even a rounded rectangle. I'm gonna set this to the side for now. Do a rounded triangle. Yeah, rounded triangle. What's this size? That is 6.43. Basically 6.43. So both of these should fit. Okay. Sandra said 5 to 6 inches below, 5 to 9 inches below machine. So the problem is that like right now what we're concentrating on is making it fit. From there, I can adjust the length of the stick as much as we want. We want to figure out and get the fit first, and then we can go from there. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to select my machine. I'm going to, this is going to take 15 minutes to print. We want to print it in PLA. So I've got to change the machine out real quick. Sandra, what do you want the color of the sticks to be? Before I go and get something in there. Do you want to be able to paint the sticks, or do you want them to be like the specific? You already sent me a message about that. Black. You had a few different colors. Got black. Let's use black right now. Oh, yeah. I was hoping for matching color to machine. Yes, we will do that. Right now we're just testing. So I'm gonna print. I've got a fair amount of black to do this with. So we can, and each one of these take, 3, 4, 5 grams. It's not enough for me to worry about in the testing phases. All right, 1 second. Pick up that chair. Yeah. What? On the cardboard next to the water.
Oh. Stay inside.
So she's off the hot floor. She's just relaxing and cooling off. I think that's all that she needed was to cool off, kiddo. All right. So PLA and ABS, like this glue that I've got right here, is ABS filament. That's what was loaded in my machine beforehand and why I needed to change it out. They print at vastly different temperatures. Like this prints about 50 degrees to 30 to 50 degrees, depending on the filament type. Celsius hotter. Huh? Yeah, he was. Yeah. Hey. Well, I had to move the blanket, so maybe it was underneath the blanket.
Got my boom thing back.
But anyways, yeah. And so what happens is hi, everyone. I can't even fix the layout. There we go. I don't know if they. Well, no, they.
Maybe turn on the PC first.
I can't turn on the PC. Like, there we go.
Kyle.
What happened was I lost power. And I don't know which device caused the power to kick. The good thing is when it comes to the printers, if they're in the middle of printing and a power outage happens, if I can get things turned back on fast enough, it will fix things up quite a bit, very, very quickly. Okay, go get something to eat. Go downstairs and go get something to eat. My idea is so stupid it blew a fuse. No, it did not blow a fuse. It's hot. It is almost 100 degrees out. There are lots of people using power, including myself. In our own house, we have a fair bit of usage going on just to keep the upstairs cool enough that I don't have to worry about it. I have 2 printers, I have a computer, and 2 air conditioners all on the same machine. The only way we're going to realistically, this 220 circuit above 220 watts voltage, or 220 volts. So I had to go above 220 volts, which I can't see what that wattage would be in order for it to kick. But there's too much on that particular circuit. There's a good bit of down.
Bathroom, so I have to turn that off too.
Yeah, realistically, yeah. Realistically, I don't think that would have caused. Will you stop at that, Tobias? Stop. Stop. take it away from you.
Should be good now, but why don't you think about that at a time temporarily?
I don't even think it's the printer. I think there's something else that caused the. Problem is we've had the printer's on for plenty of time and turned on a fan and it kicked.
The only thing that was different was the Alexa.
It doesn't use up power.
It doesn't have to. If you go over the amount, the circuit will kick. They are designed that if they go over, they will kick and let you know, and that includes spikes, which do happen often. It could have been a power spike getting sent through the house too. This toaster and microwave simultaneously trips the breaker. If it, yep, that will happen. What the biggest sucky thing about this isn't even getting everything back up. It's the fact that I was in the middle of working and there's no guarantee that any of that stuff that I was doing is saved. But the good thing is we have a base number for the size of the devices, and I was live, so those numbers exist, if nothing else, on my screen because I was showing you guys everything. So I can go back to it, look at it, and be like, that's what I need it to be. That's the size I need it. That's what I have to do. I do need to start the mug back up, though. That's a paid item, so that has to get on there. Yes, I want to restore things as they were. Oh, it's not going to restore everything, is it? It's just going to restore one thing. Hold on. Oh, nope. Yeah. Definitely. There was an unfinished print job. When it lost power, resume printing. Because we were 2%. I don't know what layer we were on because it's still currently connecting and having to warm back up. Levi and a discount TARDIS. Huh. Ain't that funny? It ain't that funny. I should be able to.
My food is peeling.
What's peeling?
This.
Oh, give it here. If you bought one of the backings, there's a protective film on it. Here you go. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just a piece of plastic protecting it. That's it. Okay. We are going to check to see. No. You didn't save it. That sucks. Alrighty. So we're going to have to start back, not completely from scratch. That's the good thing. Let me go here, in here. There we go. I've got my phone back. I'll charge my phone up. Well, since we have to rebuild everything that we had. That's the sucky part.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We are aware. So I got a periodic save habit, at least for summertime, right? Yeah. Yeah. I should. That dragon looks really cool. What? Yeah, you already know I agree. That looks very specific. Non-commercial derivatives.
This.
No, put it up. Ah, you know what?
Yeah.
Why'd you toss them like that? You just broke them. It's a beautiful, very beautiful dragon, at least. Let me share my screen again. Whee! But Sandra, I believe we figured out what we wanted to do. Hey, look at that! It's Sylvester the Kitty Cat. Oh, that's that's a good one. Anyways, great new project.
When my internet turns back on, can I plug my Alexa back in?
So one of the first things we need to do. All right. 150 centimeters. We're going to go here real quick. We're going to check the delay. So the mug was on layer 67 out of 1,115. I'm going to do something. I'm going to turn off an air conditioner temporarily just in case. If it still kicks, it doesn't matter what we do. I can't use the other printer. But it might have been... Well, no, the printer... Hey, kiddo, the printer was on, like, the loading sequence. So, like, that would have been its hottest and most powerful draw. I don't know.
And again, the only thing that was different was his Alexa being plugged in.
That is true, yeah.
Because we've done everything we've done before, and nothing's kicked. But his Alexa is plugged in and turned on. It wasn't off. And all of a sudden, kick.
Yeah. Could have been. Don't know. I do not know.
There's like a 10% chance that actually happened.
Okay.
On my Alexa.
So the next thing that we need to do,
Because if none of this kicked this time, guess what? With your Alexa, I'm expecting you to drop the cow be in here. And I can also be all back there and you making like good wrong. Like,
I'm saying like 20. I don't even think it makes 5.
okay. So that we know, that if we want press fit in there, we need the cube. And the cube has to be a certain amount. We decided to add a negative part and try a rounded triangle. The rounded triangle. Does anyone remember?
warning, you gotta.
Don't you dare plug it back in. I don't care. We're not testing it out.
I told him that like he's a good chance that he can go downstairs use Alexa and he won't fucking listen.
Is his if he's not in the same circuit? No.
He is in the same circuit because everything's turned off in here, and he's in the same power cord, so he is in the same circuit.
Yeah, no.
Downstairs in his room isn't.
Yeah, you can go downstairs and use your Alexa.
That's
Same circuit.
If I work today, or I can be up there. But I run the fucking flaming hot.
Tobias, I don't know why. Could just simply because of then the two air conditioners. The air conditioner in here is off, but I still don't want you to do it again because we're just starting that other print back up. So please don't mess. And I can't stop the other print right now. All you have to do is wait about 20 minutes and then I'll turn this air conditioner back on. And that printer will be off and then you can use Alexa for a little bit. And it should be able to, I should say. Well, Sandra, it's that's actually not going to be a problem. The only one that's a problem currently is the one that's on the color change printer, and that's on the A1. And that's not going to be a huge concern. Does anyone remember the cube size? .91. .21. 6.21. Hold on. This is why I'm glad I was live doing this. 6.21. That seems... That might be right. But we're going to double check. I don't know why I'm doing this. Hold on. Go over here. And I can clone this. So we don't mess with it. Put it on here, and then I don't have to work clear from a different area. And we add negative part, rounded cylinder, or rounded cube, rectangle. And then 6.21.
Was there anything else I can do on up there?
Not get on my case because you are bored because you don't want to do stuff that is available to do.
What can I do?
You can read a book.
Oh yeah, books I already read like a million times.
You're going to drop the attitude, or are you going to go downstairs? That's what you're going to do. That's not okay. Got it? Because it wouldn't matter if I was working or if I was just sitting here. You don't get to talk to me like that.
Why can you talk to me like that all the time then?
I don't. That's the thing. I don't talk to you like that. That's why I'm making that a point. You don't get to disrespect me like that. Okay. So that does look like it's the right size. Yay. Okay. So now we go over here. This should be... Sewing machine should be the right size. Okay. Now we take off uniform scale. And we go up a little bit. And we move this in. You wanted it to be moved kind of in the back. Let's make sure we're not going to cause issues here. Okay. Now, even though we're slicing the part, what we're looking for is issues with the slicing. You see that? That's pretty close to it, but let's take a look down. Deck of cards for kiddo. Deck of cards? You want to play with the deck of cards? You want to play with cards? Play a game?
With who?
You can play games by yourself. You can play like solitaire and stuff and memory and stuff like that. Nope. Can't say I didn't try. What about the little Game Boy? Where's that at?
I don't fucking know.
Don't you cuss on my stream. Maybe my channel, but you don't have the permission to cuss. I'll probably fix the infill in a minute. So the problem I have here is that cube is just barely covering that size. And that's... If you look at that side, that's one layer right there. I can make it thinner, but the stick thinner. But if I make the stick thinner, I don't know. Is that printing? Is the P1P printing now too? Both of them should be printing, right? Okay. So in a few minutes, we'll be able to see. It's already 50% done. And we'll be able to go from there. It might be better, Sandra. I can enlarge the machine, but let's print off the chopstick essentially, because here's the thing. Why is there only one in here? No, there's two. I have rounded chopsticks downstairs. Or not rounded. I've got regular chopsticks downstairs. These are the rounded ones. Currently. Yeah, these are the rounded ones. So I don't have the square chopsticks on me. A portable knitting machine. Yeah. I'm not sure. We'll figure this out. It's why we're doing a test print. Layer 14. I'd equals its. You just don't want to go all the way up 3 inches. Okay. Uniform scale 30. That leaves it in the same spot, slice place. Did that triangle go up too? It did. 6.91. Oh, crap. 1 second. Forgot about that. That gives that 2 layers, which is 2 layers strong, is basically double walled. So that gives that 2 walls. And it goes from there. When we have that stick printed off, I'll be able to measure it with my calipers right here, and we'll be able to double check. So that's all we're waiting for, is that stick to be printed, to finish printing. And unfortunately, I can't like just print half the stick and then measure it. And the reason why is because the orientation that we want that stick to print means that it has to go all the way through. I could have actually printed off like a little cube, but oh well. Visualization and realization don't always match. Oh no. Shoot. That just busted all the way down, didn't it? That's all right. We'll get this fixed up. That's the reason why I glued all of that in. I'm going to have to filament weld all the way on the inside. And then from there, I think what I can do is I can maybe squirt down some glue all the way down it once I got it filament welded, so that it will solidify and combine. Ogres are like 3D prints. They have layers. Oh, that's funny. Why don't you go find the Game Boy? Or are you actually secretly hiding it from me?
I don't mind red. I'm in the toilet.
Don't mess with the red. What are you doing?
I'm doing nothing.
Don't.
Isn't that Ravens?
Yes. Put that up, please. Those are called flesh cutters. They're very soft metal on the inside where the cut part is. So, like, if you try to cut metal with those, they will, essentially break.
What the fuck is Raven?
I don't know what Raven's doing.
What are you doing?
You are not causing any strife whatsoever. He's just upset. This would have happened regardless. I just wouldn't have been live for it. Awesome, Rogue. I'm eating the leftovers from my lunch date with my spouse, which is I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. Padro or something like that. There's a used chopstick. I only need this end. This is clean. A regular chopstick about 4 by 4.7, 6.7, 7.5. You can shave that down to about 6.5 and a 4.6. Not exactly even. Okay, that printer should be done, 100% complete. Cross your fingers. There we go. More likely. Told you, kiddo. Just there.
What you're saying is I have to be bored when I'm up here?
May have slightly bent the test model because it was still so warm. Always let your prints cool off. It might still be a tiny bit malleable. It's like bent right there. I don't know if I can kind of get it. It's about how long it is. The current test print that I made. What?
Can I use my Alexa now?
No. It's just shy of 6 inches long. It's a 5.8. 5.8. Okay, so that's a 5.8 opening. So if that's 5.8 uniform size, 5.9 opening, and then on uniform size it, slice that plate. That's pretty far in there. I don't think we need it that far in. Go to prepare.
Thorax.
What? No, you can have the rest of those. I really don't.
Somehow really weird.
We need probably right about there-ish. Problem is I can't see the model. So we're just guessing here. So this is what we'll do. We're gonna move this up. Oh, you bitch. Move this out. We're going to resize it. We're down. Stop it, Tobias. I'm tired of it. You're done.
I'm just mad that I asked a question, no response.
I gave you a response. What was the other question?
There's 2 questions.
What was the other question?
No, let me talk.
I don't know. Are you going to
The
behave?
first question was. My first question was. So, am I supposed to be born when I'm up here?
The question is you being a dick. Okay, got it. God damn that model. That's it. I'm performing a cut.
See, I forgot the second question.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm so sorry. Doesn't want to stay in my. There it goes. I pop popcorn on the stove in a pot with coconut oil. Or with a pot of coconut oil. Good. Perfect. Okay. That's what I want. Okay. I accidentally got rid of my rounded triangle, which needs to be at 5.8 uniform scale or 5.9 to allow a little bit of leeway. Take off that uniform scale, we go up, and we move it down. Down. Okay, we want it to be roughly right about there inside the print. We slice the plate and we take a look where it's at. We actually move it a little bit further in. It's pretty good to me. 1, 2, 3. That's a seam. That might actually wind up being an empty spot. No, it's not. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. So it goes up to right about there on the printer. You guys see that? That should hold it pretty good.
Wait.
She has one of the glass ones.
Right.
Ooh, whirly popper.
Kind of my Alexa put. Remember when you were first live streaming and you had both of those on? Both.
Yeah, somebody turned on the microwave downstairs. You want to try that one again?
Can I talk?
You can. Go for it.
Okay. So basically, both of those are on when you first started streaming, and both the printers are on, and my Alexa is also on. You didn't put your Alexa up here. Actually, I did.
We don't know what it is. We do know it happened. We do know that right now it's not happening. Of course, I don't have the printer on right now. Okay.
So as long as everything downstairs is off.
This is how much length is in there. I don't know actually how much that is. This would take 30 minutes to print. And that's because of this on the build plate too. Delete that. Now here's the best thing. I don't need all of this printed. And we still need to print with, we still need to create some stuff for it. We only need it to print to the 46th layer marker. Now that says 30 minutes. It's likely not going to be 36 minutes. And it's not going to come out the best. What are you doing? Stop messing. Stop. Pick it up.
That's not my fault.
Go sit down.
I was just slamming it.
No. Pop with baking grease. There's nothing stopping you from using baking grease in your thing. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to hopefully not lose power. And we need it to get to layer, what was that again? 14, 25, 48, 47, 48 roughly. About 50 layers. About 50 layers high. I should have put a pause on it so it just automatically pause. Oh well. So that's what we need to do. Now, Zinnia said that it needs about 5 to. Not Zinnia. Sandra said 5 to 9 inches. I need to know, like, how big do you want this to really be? Right? Like right now, this is roughly. I'll show you an actual chopstick. Here's the end piece of a square chopstick. So it's about the same thickness of a regular chopstick. Its length is different. Here's a rounded chopstick, about the same length. We are a bit short compared to a regular chopstick. We need about another 69 to 70 millimeters to get that length. So that would mean $200 millimeters is supposed to be about 7 inches. That would mean this chopstick is a little bit larger than what you're. But 200, if we did 200 millimeters, and we clone that, this was really cool. I can kind of get a viewpoint. See, the chopstick goes in there, but like at that head point right there, it would solidly fit. Yeah. So that's not bad. Weep. Weep. I think that would be a good size. Takes about 35 minutes to print that, about 7 grams of filament total,
What's in
without
there?
supports, mind you.
Guys, what?
This one, the 150. We're gonna put on. We're gonna get that thing, put it on. Nothing. That is insulation, so don't open that. It's where all the heat and everything is coming from. That's why during the wintertime it's nice and toasty up here. During the summertime it's nice and toasty up here. It's just nice and toasty, period. Say nice and toasty. It sucks during the summertime. Layer 10. No time we'll have layer 50. And then we can stop the print, pull it off, and put it on here and see if it works. But if it's the 4-inch minimum requirement, and this is 6 inches. Yeah, that should have well more than enough. Because this is 4 inches right here. What is a beamer? You want bacon bread? 97 degrees out. We got both printers running. We got both air conditioners running. I'm streaming. A lot of power getting drawn right now. And we are up 10 more layers. That is nuts to think about. See if this kicks the power or not.
For how long again?
I'm just streaming to figure out if this is going to work the way we want it to, or if I have to print it all as one piece. So if this works, we'll be good. Yeah, Sandra. I'll try to only have weird 3D print ideas in the winter. You're fine. It's just much easier to go live and be like, hey, is this kind of what you're meaning? All right, let's do a test print real quick since it doesn't take too long. Okay, let's see if this works. So really the 3 ways we have to do this is we try to print it off as one piece. That's honestly going to be the most structurally sound version. The next structurally sound is exactly what we want to press fit. We want to put it in there. That's going to fit in there. It's going to have that structure in there. Worst case scenario, somebody pulls it off. If you want to glue it in there as well with a dab of glue, just enough that if somebody really yanks on it, they could actually pull it out. With a bit of pliers, they'd be able to get any remaining pieces out, right? And they could sand in there and do the same thing, put a new stick in there. But we want to make sure that works. So the first thing we want to do is see if we can press fit. So hence why we are printing some of the model, but not all of it. Another thing is like with this particular machine that we're printing now, it needs supports. Now, if this works for this machine, we have to replicate it on the other machine. Not going to be too hard because we'll have all the measurements we need, but we want to make one of them first, get them working, then move on to the next one. Now, if this doesn't work, it's just gluing it on top. You can glue it on top, which you can do, but that's a snap point, right? Very easy snap point. I mean, the one piece is real. One piece would be optimal. Yep. But it prints with so many supports. Yeah, if we duct tape, there's some duct tape in the garage. If we duct tape all that up, all that hot air that leaks into here would no longer leak in here, and it would just yes. There's like holes and drainage holes and stuff like that. Which is unfortunately it sucks because it's hot and it traps a lot of hot air. Yeah, we want to make the most optimal print we can make, and that's what we're running with. The good thing is we're almost to the point where we're going to be stopping the print. We only need about 11 more layers to go, and we'll be good. And then we can test it and see if I need to make the hole a little bit smaller. And again, the reason why I'm using PLA is because it's going to be printed in PLA, and we're going to go from there. My concern is, especially with how thin this part is, like this part bends as it is. If this gets left out in the sun, or you're out in the hot sun wearing this for too long, that could cause an issue. Now, when I say hot sun, I mean anything above, for this thin, for this small. I don't know. I'd have to test it out. I'd have to just set it outside. I'd have to make them for 10-degree differences, and like at 80 degrees, set it, put it in like a wig, set it out in the wig outside and see what it does. I don't have I have. Do we have a wig still?
No.
No, I don't think we do. Just when we are really sweating over our sewing projects. If you're sewing outside and not in 100-degree weather, I worry for your safety, though, to be honest. All right, so that's at 49 layers, which is nice. It's at 50 layers now. We're gonna wait about 52 layers, and then we'll give it a pause. Stop. 51 layers. We're almost there. Huh? What's up? Oh, okay. 53 layers. All right, we can stop right there. Mm-hmm. Got something in my mouth.
Are both printers on?
Yep, I told you they were. Told you it wasn't just it wasn't just the printer. It was something else, because we had both of them on before. You want to go get that print off the build plate, or you want to hold off and let it cool down a little bit?
My arm.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, I'll be right back. Give me a moment.
ow. Never mind. Hairs? Yeah. Very funny. Give her.
Yeah. For the record, I will not send you the one that has drool and teeth marks all over it. I will print you off a new one. Huh? Yeah, you can. 5.9 is a hard, just a little bit. What?
Have some little rice and curry.
Yeah, but they're safe foods.
know where they are?
Yeah, they're downstairs.
Oh yeah, of course that's gonna help.
I don't.
There's like a million different rooms downstairs.
All right. That is all the way in there, and that is not coming out. That is a 5.9. That's my finger. So I can force it off. That's press fit, right? But I can force it off. And the more you press fit it, the easier it'll actually be to get on there, right? So do we want to print off an entire... That leaves more than enough length. Honestly, that really does. You do not need it to, unless you want it to be really long. You really don't. What? Why? I know how you have to pay for extra drool and teeth marks. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print off a full version, and we're going to compare it. Now, do you know how big calipers are? Or do you have, you know what? Here is playing card. Let's use... Wait, don't you have one of these guys? One of the medium guys of these? Sandra? It doesn't make your muscle twitch, though. It boosts your micro circulation. Shrug? What? Oh, you guys are talking about TENS units. If this works, I could essentially design and make press fit items onto hairpins. That length looks perfectly fine. What's up? What? Is it too hot downstairs? Ah. Mm. Okay. Yes, I have all three size critters. Okay. Medium critter. Okay, this is currently like this. Obviously, I'm printing the full version right now. Okay. Realistically, you could put a critter in your hair if you wanted to. If we made the hole for it, you can go and have a critter in your hair. But this looks good so far. So I figured with sewing, a lot of people that sew tend to have calipers for a number of reasons. I don't actually know why. It was like to test the thickness of material or something. Interchangeable chopsticks, hair stick bobbles. Yeah, essentially. This chopstick is Creative Commons. So I can sell the chopstick thing. It's actually a hairpin. That's Creative Commons. It wouldn't be too hard to honestly model one of these myself. It's literally a rectangle tapered rectangle is what it is. So about 35 minutes, we will have both of them printed. And It's going through its bed leveling now. That 35 minutes does include leveling the bed and stuff like that. They'll be printed in PLA. If I want something to last a little bit better, printing in ABS and stuff like that would be better. It's also more toxic is my problem. And I'm not a big fan of the more toxic filaments and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of all the filament waste I'm currently getting, but we'll deal with it. I actually need to... Is that little filament catcher tray getting full? No? Okay. Can't believe 300 grams of wasted filament. But I like this idea. If you can send that to me on Discord so I don't space it, that would be a good idea. I can tell you how much this would cost in a moment. Since you just want them evenly, that I would just print them on the same build plate. Would be the easiest solution. And then we have to do the same thing for the other one. I can do those numbers in a minute. Let me get this wrapped up and put up. And let's take a look at that. Ow, don't look at me. I got an itch. Doesn't want to go away. Oh. I got face wash that has like soap and stuff in it, like the kind that like you don't have to worry about. Throw that away. And that is 5.84. Safer to say 6 grams of filament. That is 40 minutes at most. I don't think you want to pay $5 for each one, and that's ridiculous. That's a 95% thing. $1. $1 per. That leaves me at 75% profitability. So $1 per hairpin thingy. More than likely be the same way. Hairpin combo. Yeah, we're gonna check that out here in a minute. Since we're waiting on the other print, we might as well do that. And since we already know that this cube fits, that's all we got to do. This size is 34. That's 30. It's a thinner column. We're going to leave it at 35, 34. We're going to leave it at this size just in case. And we will add a negative part, round a triangle. Okay. The rounded triangle for this machine is 5.9. Uniform scale, 5.9. Did that not work? 5.9. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Uh, uh, see that little tiny peak right there? Yeah, see how that opens a hole right there? Okay, so let's make this a size 40 millimeters. It's going to be a little bit bigger than the other one. Not peeking through there, but it's peeking through there. Not peeking through there, but it's peeking through there. All right, not peeking anywhere. Not peeking through anywhere. Aha! Yeah. I know that I need support. I'm not concerned about that right now. And we'll probably give it more infill or change its infill type so it's stronger. I think that should work though. That's got plenty of layers. That's over 40 layers. And the one I just did was 40 some as well. So that should be more than enough still. So I'll have to print it so I could show it to you. It'll be a little bit bigger than the other sewing machine. But I mean, so are the real things. Discord reminder, DM sent. Thank you. I just realized that I don't have supports for the one that's currently printing. So it's not going to come out looking the greatest. You're probably not going to get that one. It's going to be the test model for sure. Unless you want the test model, but I don't know how well it's going to look, to be honest. So we're going to go to global support, enable supports. We're going to see what supports look like. Ooh, we don't need supports all over like that. We're going to go on build plate only. We're going to go to tree. We're going to take a look at that. Okay. Go to prepare. Slice plate. See all those blue dots? That's effectively where I need supports. So prepare, model, Base all painting. Overhangs only. Okay. Ooh. There we go. There we go. I feel like that's going to fail right there. That'd be a pain on that wheel to get off. The other design you find. That's fine. The classic would definitely be just in black. So I could print this. That's not going to be a problem. But I feel like the 0.2 nozzle would be better on this. But that wouldn't be, because like you're going to have all these supports here in order for it not to fail. And I just don't know if the tree supports, whether they be manual or auto. Like if you look at this, this thing is barely holding it right here, right? It's still without the stick, it's still only about 5 grams of filament. That's assuming that this succeeds. It's not printing anything there, it's just holding it there so that we get clean results all the way around. With the stick, you're looking at about 9 grams of filament. I'll get at least 20, but maybe a bit more. Looking at about 9 grams of filament, which isn't much difference. 2%, 9 grams of filament, about 50 minutes. One. Oh, hold on. 50. I can honestly do that for $1 too. It's at a 63%. Realistically, if I were to sell them to anyone else, I think it'd be about $2. Nope. $1.50. Oh, you don't actually let me do $1.50, do you? Dollar. Oh, you do not let me do partials? No, you do not. Okay. $1 it is. That kind of sucks. I think about $1.50 is probably where it'd be though to put me at the same level. You're perfectly fine not using this design. I could print one just for you too. Like we could have one just be for you. But I have no idea how well it would print in the 0.4 nozzle. 0.2 nozzle. The problem with 0.2 nozzle is, I'll just show you. So right now we're at 47 minutes. No guarantee it's going to come out. I guarantee you it will come out on this one. 1 hour and 38 minutes. Same amount of filament, but it takes almost double the amount of time. Which would guarantee you would have to be sitting at about. And the 0.2 nozzle is only on the other machine right now. We are halfway there. God, why did my nose itch so much today? It is 7 o'clock. How's everyone doing? How is the heat treating everyone right now? Too bad the full Threadle would be so delicate at the scale. Actually, we've made it at the scale before. It's really not too bad. The reason being is that it's like a solid piece of filament, and it's not like just this thin thing. It's not too bad. Like if you purposely want to break it, you can. But it's not going to break from it falling. I don't know if the wheel hand would be. I mean, we can print it after we're done printing this one with the supports. We'll print it with supports with a 0.4 nozzle. I have to paint the supports on this one anyways. I know that this isn't too bad. We know that this is needed. We know that this is needed almost completely. We know that a little bit here goes a long way. Look here, it goes a long way. We can do both those. We know that right down the middle. Can I just? It's not going to let me. What I want. Right here. Can I just have a bigger pin size? I've got a smaller pin size than that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Up, up. Up, up. There we go. Here. We go here. Yep. Yep. Just so that back end looks really good. Go one right there. One right there. Good thing is like experience with paint with doing this. We know where they need to be. With this one, like I already know everywhere it needs to be. And it needs to be normal auto. Trying to have it be yeah, there we go. I hate this actually. That shouldn't actually be like that. Hold on. Can I have the erase button, but only the erase? All right. We know we need it here. Slice plate. For whatever reason, it's actually printing supports in there. Don't need supports right there. Oh, it's auto. That's why. Ah ha 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 ha. Menu. Da, da, da. Don't really need the whole spindle covered with supports, but it does help. Not with the spindle itself, but like the rest of it. If I'm right, that should still be too much. Why are you being way picky today? Maybe some things. 20%. Oh. Slice. Okay, that's right. Repair. Make the pin smaller. Slice. Yes. That's correct. Okay. Prepare. Okay. Back. 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 Slice. Ah, there we go. That is what we want. We don't want them overhanging on here. That's more than that's needed, to be honest. That's not even touching it by the looks of it. Is that even gonna? I think that's just gonna prevent it from hanging down too low. Whereas these should, yeah, they'll do the same thing. We'll just whatever. All right. That still only makes it about 7 grams of filament, which I budgeted at 6, 7, still $1. Okay, I had to turn my resolution down. I thought the stick was going to narrow too wide down the top of the previous machine. It's one of the machines fitting into the fat end and not non-tapered. Yeah, it fits into the fat end. It doesn't fit into this one. It fits into this one. So we got these two set up. And Sandra, do you want your dragon hairpin to be all one color, or do you want to have dual color? At least on the front. Because I can imagine how hard painting some of these inseams would be. Speaking of. Can't really do more than 2 colors, but 2 colors really wouldn't be too big of a deal. Like if I slice this, the amount of purge that happens because of those side things is only 10 grams of purge. It's barely anything. It's just not a whole lot. you're gonna 12 grams of purged. Total of 28 grams of filament altogether to print this. It's still not that much. Not that bad. What? Conflicts of G-code path have been found at layer 1. Please separate the conflicts? What conflicts? You did not just do that to me. You just freaking killed the... Rip. 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 I'll fix all the seams here in a minute. Oh, nope, that's not what I want. Okay. Yeah, it's hiding. Same painting. Bye. All right, that should fix a lot of issues. Not too concerned with that, to be honest. That's not a big deal because it steps down. You see that? That's why it does that. Okay. I got a nerve acting up on my thingy. Right. Okay. Red with black if you do dual color. Absolutely, I can do that. That's not a problem. Which part do you want red? Looks like this is going to turn out pretty good. It's 30 grams of filament instead of the 16 now. There are still conflicts with the G-path. Why? What conflicts are you having? Okay. What if we just do the top layer? And then see if that prints. Seam paint the whole thing. That's apparently not doing as much as I wanted to do, but that's all right. We will. Oh, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. You see all these rounded edges? It's actually conflicting with the path of the print. So it's not wanting to conform and let it actually print properly. I didn't mean to do that. If I slice that, it still looks pretty cool, to be honest. The dragons with red and the black with that. Okay. Oh. Oh. Hold on. Okay. That might actually make things easier for my printer. Do the 30. What about this? Kind of like that. What conflicts? At layer 1. What? Oh my god. Really? That's the problem you've been having this whole time? You're too close to that? Oh my god. You know, there could be a code saying like you're obstructing a different thing instead of conflict, because you make it sound so much different. How's that look? Essentially, just the top surface of the dragons are red, so the dragons get highlighted by the black underneath. You like that? That looks great. All right. All right. Your print, by the sounds of it, is done. Now this one doesn't have supports, so we already know that You guys are about to see what happens when you don't properly add supports to things that need supports. They have a little bit of a failure. Let me hold on. Retry. Okay. There's a tiny bit of a failure, and it's solidified too. So like it's not exactly doesn't really want to come off. And you were saying about that spindle. Spindle is ow. I can't get it. I can't get it to break. The irony. Okay. This is a freshly printed piece. Fits on there. You may have to sand it down a little. Do you have files or sandpaper? Alternatively, we can make the hole just a little bit bigger. But if we want a proper press fit, it's better for you to like just sand it when it gets to you a little at a time until it press fits the way you want it to. That is already difficult to get in there. And it's hard. I think we might want to make the hole just a little bit bigger, to be honest. But if you leave the hole as is and just sand around it a little bit, and just be careful when you put them on. You notice this one came out dang near perfectly for the chopstick or for the pin. Okay, so Sandra, it's up to you. I can make the hole, 6 instead of 5.9, and it'll still fit in there press fit. It'll just be a little bit easier press fit. Or you can sand it down. My concern is that the more you take it off, you're already warping the material every time you put it on, take it off, which hopefully people aren't taking it off 1,000 times. So having a little bit bigger means that it's going to be looser right off the bat. You can already see where some of the warps are happening. But it goes on there. That's what it looks like compared to my digital calipers here. Compared to this guy here. That's what Dremels are for. I do have a Dremel. You don't want to do a Dremel at a very high speed on this thing. I can very quickly fix this, though, if I'm to be honest. You slice the plate and look to see what changes that has done to it. It's done virtually no changes to the surrounding filament. It's just slightly bigger, not by much. It's a 0.1% bigger. And this one has the support, so it'll come out better. But we don't need to be live for this. We know this design works. The size works. It fits on there great. It's not like perfectly in there because, like, if you got OCD, you're gonna see the inside isn't perfect. No matter what I do, it's never gonna be perfectly centered without causing an issue or obstruction somewhere else. So that we should leave it. Unless you were to design the whole thing around it, it should be left as it is. It's closer to the little logo, tiny logo too. There you go. I can take it off this one. Put it on the non-sanded one. Fits perfectly. We're printing it at the 6 for the whole to see how much change that really realistically does to it. I'll let you know offline. But that works. Because we know this one works, the only thing we need to find out is if that other one works, and that can be done off stream as well. You don't need to stay on here for another hour tinkering and getting things to fit. So I want to thank you guys for joining me over here while we figure that out and get everything nailed down. And Sandra will run some numbers offline. Thank you guys. The inside will be against the hair. It won't be sticking. So yeah, that works. What is on my hands that's like coming off? Rub your hands together. See if you got like stuff on them. I guess. Probably glue and stuff from me handling all the plastic and glue and all that. It was fun. Yeah. If you guys have a particular order or anything like that, this is probably the best channel to go over things on. Because then we can sit here and iron out the custom order live. And it'll get me some watch hours, even if it's only 1 or 2 here and there. They add up. They do add up. All right, everyone. All right, everyone. Peace of mind, serenity, and body, spirit, and harmony to you and your others. Yeah, peace of mind, serenity, and body, spirit, and harmony to you and yours. And I really hope peace of mind, serenity of body and spirit, and harmony amongst others to you and yours. One step, one day, one breath, one step, one day at a time. I will get my closing down for Cosmic. I will. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Y'all have a lovely day. Have a cosmic day. Have a cosmic day. Free of charge. Always.